Let's move on to spirituality, healing, and human resilience. Faith appears throughout your personal narrative. How central is spirituality to your understanding of healing and leadership?
Faith is like a central key to me. I was brought up that way, exposed to church where my dad always, it was like threatening when when he spoke about Judgment Day, he'd say on Judgment Day, you'd have to be accountable for every little thing to God. And just thinking of it going before a court and being judged. And my mom would further solidify that by saying that as parents, we are responsible for our children's upbringing and their faith. Maybe going back to the first question. So I see faith as central. Like back in when I was in grade 2, I attended a religious instruction meeting or gather. We usually did that at school every week, and by the Baptist church. And I ended up giving my life to God, to Jesus, and I went home so excited. Mom, I've done this. And like God just opened up. I learned how to read early, and we'd read the Bible at the back of the classroom. But through life, you go through mountains and valleys, and ups and downs, and none of us are perfect or righteous. So I've fallen and I've got up again. And the only reason I've got up is, I think, it's to do with spirituality, that God gives that extra incentive every day to just see that little gap of of possibilities, of opportunities, and to go for it. So faith is central to everything I do. Like just going to bed at night and not knowing how we wake up the next morning, how many times our heart beats, and to wake up in the morning and to be grateful, to be given life again, because one day that won't happen. So when we have the chance to kind of grab it with both hands, and maybe that's one reason I'm also here with so much gratitude to yourself. Yeah.
During moments of despair or uncertainty, what keeps you moving forward?
At this point in time in age, I would say that it is my faith. It's starting the day off on the right note, going within through prayer and through the reading of the scripture. And that kind of gives me that as an individual, that extra edge to have the right sort of energy to tackle what's in front of me, especially when you walk out there and everything is just happening. So
What does
just,
forgiveness
yeah,
mean in your life experience?
yes, based on Christianity, forgiveness is central to happiness. And there's a difference. They talk about forgiving and forgetting. So I've come to a stage, I guess, personally, is that forgiveness is important, but when things keep on reoccurring, I don't think there's any hurt in kind of putting up boundaries by having limitations and not being exposed to situations or instances where you just need to keep on forgiving. But forgiveness is key and central to happiness and for peace.
Even, can you think that a nation heals socially if individuals are not emotionally and psychologically healthy?
Yeah, a nation can heal if it comes back to individuals because we make up the whole. And if we're exposed to having those Christian values and virtues, that will also help us a lot because without it, then we just keep on kind of digressing and dwindling and really progressed, not only in the major centers and urban areas, but also back in the villages. From my exposure to the village recently, from my mom's side, it seems to be okay. But back here near the capital city, it's kind of you heard of moonshine and drugs. So those things, like back in the 80s, we never really knew about them, but now they've kind of elevated. And so,
In
yeah,
your view, what is the relationship between emotional intelligence and national development?
yes, it's key and it's central. Because emotional intelligence, the aspects of emotional intelligence, I can't really recall them off the back of my mind, but it's about self-awareness, awareness of others, and being genuine and authentic. And if every individual was to kind of lift the game, then definitely the whole nation would move forward.
Then I will ask a question that would be more addressed to the young generation is how do you maintain hope while discussing difficult social and political realities publicly? Hope.
Yes, hope. Yeah, that's a big one. Hope is, there's this saying like, you know God and you know hope. No God, no hope, or no God, no peace. It's like KNOW and NO. So when you know God, then you have hope. Because without knowing God, then I don't think there's much hope. And if we can get the message out, I guess that's like the, if you're a Christian, you know about the Great Commission, and it's our job to get this out to the masses, especially the younger generation, taking into consideration that no one is perfect.
Definitely.